came out of the tent roaring, with a bread knife in his teeth, to take care of a druggist they told him had made a pass at my mother. She laughing so sure, as round as her face. Heinz pink and apple under one of those frame hats women then. This is no bare incoming of novel abstract form. This is no welter of the forms of those events. This, Greeks, is the stopping of the battle.
Well, I think ultimately, certainly patience, is a big part of it. I mean, you'll see it when you hear the music. I mean, it's extremely slow moving. I would call it maybe glacial, in a certain way. So, just really slowing down the pace of how you would normally feel or when you're, performing, I think is a key thing that the players really had to learn. I remember even when we first recorded this in the studio, which was in the late 90s, that it took a whole number of takes before we could finally slow everybody down to the right kind of mood to really play the music well. We were here the first year when there was a focus on American music and on Steve Reich, and whose music I think also very much leans toward this this other world. A lot of people in the electronic world and in the more mainstream world have picked up on his music in recent years, especially. So probably that year, and especially that big concert that ended the festival that year. I suspect, kind of influenced, Philip and others here who were programming that, this was maybe just an interesting direction to go rather than focusing on countries and things like this.
The second concert, it's similar in nature in the sense that it's just myself and the other performer, Ben Vida. I'm doing a duo where we find ways to just kind of come up with a set of variables in the modular world and find ways to interact with each other in ways that are in one way very simple, but in other ways can end up being very complicated. And that's the fun part of seeing how a simple idea can kind of spiral out of control. That's kind of what that duo is.
as a group, we think that contemporary music is just like any other music. It's not more difficult or it doesn't require any special knowledge. It's just there's good and bad music like is in 18th century or 17th century music. So we think that these American composers are good composers. We want people to have a good time listening to them, and we try to play them as best as we can. And the vision is just to make sure that people understand that contemporary music is no different. Contemporary music is just like Mozart or other music from the past. Every music that has some kind of deep meaning is not just entertainment. It's just nothing against entertainment, but it's not, you know, if you want to have fun, you can go listen to rock and roll or whatever, it's a lot. But this is different. This is fun, but also you can listen to many times, as many layers of meaning. And so maybe you have to listen a couple of times before you get it, but after that, it's exactly like other music. It's no different from the past. Okay, we play in beautiful festivals, we play in very beautiful theaters where classical music is performed, but we also play in clubs, we play it in shopping malls, we play it on the street. We play everywhere because we think that simply a lot of people has no access to this music because it's not played on the radio, it's not commercial, it's not on TV or whatever. So we want to make them sure that they know that there's good music, a lot of good music that they know anything about. And we try to make it in the most informal way possible, with no coattails. It's all try to make it simple. Try to get this music to the people.
Initially, it's definitely a collaborative vision and collaborative effort, and that process, the arrival of the show, is probably as much a part of the vision as what message we hope to convey. So the idea of home as being the product of a collaboration, a group of people trying to make a place where open communication creates a language. What we're trying to do is present an idea of home that is clearly an open collaboration and has a lot of elements that are very inscrutable and puzzling to a degree, to hopefully expand a definition of home that is not just sweet and sentimental and aiming for warmth, but also mystery that is inherent in anything that you get to know very well. So the more you get to know something, the more confusing it is.
Obrazu nie maluje się w godzinę, tak? Po prostu tutaj organizatorzy tego festiwalu i też zespół chciał pracować z jakimś artystą sztuk wizualnych, który będzie działał z nim na scenie. To nie jest, oni też nie przygotowywali tego koncertu teraz tutaj, w tym momencie, tylko naprawdę mają wszystko świetnie przygotowane, pracowali nad tym bardzo długo. I ja, żeby zrobić obraz, żeby wymyślić jakąś kompozycję, jakiś układ, muszę to zrobić sama, bez nikogo, muszę mieć czas, spokój, muszę odejść na godzinę, na ileś metrów się na to patrzeć, potem zrobić coś zupełnie innego. Dlatego mam tu już kompozycję i zamysł przygotowany, zostawiam sobie kilka elementów, które mogę po prostu w trakcie koncertu skończyć tutaj przy nich, w tym czasie. Oczywiście będą powstawały w realu, tu i teraz, ale ten plan i zamysł mamy już przemyślany wcześniej i poważną część obrazu, bo na scenie nie byłoby to możliwe, malarze pracują inaczej.